A Quiet Place is suffering the same fate as the Alien franchise and the Jurassic World franchise, which is this. The creatures aren't interesting anymore, and here's how to fix that. My overall impression of the movie is that it's relying too heavily on the creatures to be interesting, and the creatures just aren't interesting anymore. We've already seen this, we've ridden this ride, we know how the creatures work, and they're just not interesting anymore. This is the same problem with the Alien franchise and the Jurassic World franchise, is that they rely too heavily on the creatures to be interesting. The way to fix that is to have interesting characters and a good story. What a revelation! Have good characters and a good story. But unfortunately, these franchises are forgetting that. They keep thinking that the creatures are enough to carry the movie, and they're not. A Quiet Place Day One doesn't do anything new. The creatures are the same, the scares aren't very interesting or very creative. You have jump scares, but they aren't creatively placed or creatively timed. You have your standard like proximity scare. Oh, the monster's getting close, he's gonna get you, he's getting so close. Oh, we got distracted and ran away. Lucky you. I mean, how many times have we seen this? If you're gonna do that kind of scare, you need to make it interesting. Jurassic Park did it in an interesting way because they have this like rotating car, and that was a really interesting way of doing that close proximity scare. Overall, A Quiet Place Day One relied too heavily on the creatures to carry the movie and not enough on the story and the characters. For example, the main character, I didn't know much about her. She lives in hospice, she likes pizza, and she has a cat. And that was basically it. That's all I knew about her. And then later on in the movie, we realize how much she loved music and poetry. I don't feel like I knew internally who she was and what made her tick. And so I just didn't feel like I understood her. And then there was another guy who came into the story, Eric, and I really didn't know who he was. All I knew is that he came to New York for law school, and like that was it. The end of the movie tries to cash in on this deep connection between the two characters, but I don't think that the movie actually earned that investment. The whole story revolves around the protagonist wanting a certain pizza from the center of the city. Instead of going to the boats and escaping the city, she decides to go to the center of the city for the pizza. I'm not clear on why she does this. It was only afterward that I realized, oh, she feels like she's gonna die soon, and so she just wants to experience something that she enjoys before she dies. I think that was a hugely missed opportunity to talk about the mortality of life and enjoying things while you have them and appreciating temporary things as long as you have them. But as it is, I kind of had to piece that together afterward. Also, I want to talk about this cat that they have. In the midst of these audiophobic monsters that fall from outer space and their head splits open, they can hear everything for like a mile, the most unbelievable thing in the whole movie is a cat that stays completely silent for 3 days. And they're like running through the city, running away from monsters. They're like grabbing the cat, they jump into the water, and the cat's just chilling the whole time. The cat does not make a sound the entire movie, and that was... But again, I think the main problem with the movie is that it relied too heavily on the monsters to be interesting and not enough on the story and the characters. All you need to make a good movie is interesting characters and a good story. That's why we can still get a good zombie movie even though hundreds have been made. That's why a show like The Walking Dead can be popular for many seasons, is because they focus on the characters and the story, and the zombies simply serve as a threat. They're not intended to carry the show at all. The characters are intended to carry the show. Overall, I would give A Quiet Place Day One a 5 out of 10. I don't think the characters were very interesting. I don't think the story was very interesting. I think the scares were just very standard. I think overall the movie relied too heavily on the creatures rather than the characters. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. Hit the button, hit the bell. Catch you later.